Buccaneers make multiple moves. There are massive Bucs updates that we need to talk about regarding some stars from the team, some offensive stars in particular that have been looking to make their way back. There are some big updates on them, some reshuffling of some players on the roster that we need to talk about regarding how it's going to affect the Texans game and what to look for there. I'm Sebastian with Buccaneers Digest. Welcome back, everybody. Today's an interesting day. These updates, I'm very curious to see what people think of them. But first, before we get started, subscribe. 95% of people still aren't subscribed, those who are watching. So just, hit the bell, hit the button, join Bucs Digest. But here's, man, I just really want to talk about this. Basically, what's going on is, here we go. Big news from Greg Auman. Tristan Wirfs and Chris Godwin back at practice for the first time this season. This is on Thursday, September 11th. First step in ramping up for an eventual return. Benjamin Morrison and Christian Izien are also practicing today with hopeful returns for Monday. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this. These are all massive pieces for the Buccaneers that we were without for the Sunday game against Atlanta. Still got the win, still got the dub, but now it's like, okay, the process has begun. This is the reason why we did not put Godwin or Wirfs on IR, so they could have this opportunity to start getting back into football shape and getting ready to play during this period. If they were on the IR, they wouldn't be able to do this. They wouldn't be able to come to practice and work out and do all that stuff until after week 4 had been completed. So that's why they did this. And, it's thrilling. We're already here, after the win. We're in the middle of the week practicing for Monday Night Football, and Wirfs and Godwin are both on the practice field. I mean, come on. It's just so exciting to see both of them there. Rick Stroud had to say Bucs wide receiver Chris Godwin will practice today for the first time since dislocating his ankle last year. He will be joined by Tristan Wirfs, who has had knee surgery in July as part of their conditioning to play in a few weeks. It's part of a plan to have them practice twice this week. So this is probably one of 2 practices for them, and which is awesome. Ian Rappaport had to say Chris Godwin is recovering from a second surgery to fix some hardware in his ankle, a procedure that probably sped up his return. The team is hopeful for a Week 5 debut, though Week 6 is also possible. And now, doing the math on this, it's people might say, okay, well, especially for Godwin, if he's coming back for Week 5 or Week 6, why didn't we not put him on the IR and give someone else that roster spot in the meantime? It's so they could practice. It's both practice and playing in the game. You can't do that if you're on the IR. It's weeks 1 through 4. You're basically disqualified from practicing. We want him practicing. We want him working with the team, getting those reps, mental reps, as well as physical reps, back into shape and feeling like himself. But we're working closely with him. Or I'm saying we, I'm with the Bucs organization, but the Bucs are working closely with him to make sure that they're both on the same page. They're going at the pace that they feel is necessary to get him back both as soon as possible, but not too fast where it's like he's going to hurt himself in the long term. We signed him to a 3-year deal this offseason, and it's like, okay, let's make sure that we're getting the most out of this thing, and the Godwin feels good coming back and confident in everything. So because a healthy Godwin is the best Godwin, and we're going to need him, especially we're making this run for the Super Bowl that we're hoping to make this year. So that's just fantastic. And then Wirfs, obviously, huge to have him, him and Godwin on doing a joint practice. They're both of them came onto the field today. It's a monumental day just to have them both there, because all training camp, all preseason, we didn't see these guys. They were standing on the sideline. They'd been on the sideline for the first game, all the preseason games, and now they're here practicing with the guys. I mean, just it's lovely. Rick Stroud did have to also say could be more O-line shuffle. Did not see Luke Goedeke practicing. Charlie Heck was taking first team reps, it appeared, at right tackle. So this was the other reshuffling that we were talking about. This obviously has some people worried. Coach Bowles, after practice, clarified that Goedeke hurt his foot during the game in Atlanta, and he was able to finish the game. But now they're being precautious with that, so he didn't practice today. And they'll keep evaluating as the week and the weekend goes on, that if he feels good enough to play, or before the traveling to Houston. So we'll keep monitoring that. It seems like Heck will be the right tackle if Godeke's not able to go, which is a little terrifying considering that they reshuffled the entire offensive line in an emergency situation to avoid playing Heck in general. So let's just hope that Goedeke can make it to the game. Obviously, we don't want to hurt his foot any more than already is, but at the same time, we it's scary either way. Either way, so we just gotta hope for the best. Hope for the best scenario out of all of this. But not great news there. Greg Ogman also had to say that both said Monday is in play for Godwin and Wirfs, but realistically, it would be extremely unlikely. Both coming back from long absences, so the physical ramp up usually isn't 4 days. I agree. Obviously, this is and I agree in general that this is more about getting these guys back. And I tried showing a video, but then my audio wasn't playing. But anyway, there is video of them kind of like Godwin's in more normal clothes, walking around, just getting like he's with the guys. He's amongst the other guys, and Wirfs was actually taking reps. Let me just play that video real quick. So that I mean, yeah, it's like 5 seconds long, but he's actually in pads, doing the moves. He wasn't with like on the line with everybody else. They still had Barton at left tackle, Bredesen at center, like kind of how they shifted things around for the Atlanta game. That seems like how they're setting things up for this upcoming week. But now Heck was at right tackle today because of the Goedeke foot injury that we hope does not linger. But always good. I mean, so Godwin didn't look like he was in pads today, but Wirfs was. So those are two interesting things. And it's interesting to say that Bowles said that they were in play for Monday. My guess is that he's probably just trying to scare the Texans or Houston, make them go, okay, do we have to spend some time preparing for these guys and watching some tape? They probably won't play, and Houston isn't stupid. They know that it's very much a long shot, and we don't want to rush two of our star and best players back in an effort to just get them back as soon as possible. Because especially Jason Licht, Todd Bowles have been very emphatic about the fact that they don't want to hurt our star players, our franchise players, when it's unnecessary, when they think that we could win without them. Now, if Goedeke's not playing, we'll see if they rush Wirfs back, but I don't know. I don't think that'll be the case. I don't want to speculate too much on that. Bowles said that Luke Goedeke has a foot injury, was able to push through and finish the game, but did not practice today. They'll see what he's able to do next 2 days. So Friday and Saturday will be the main telling force on, okay, like, can Goedeke, make this work? Can he, does he feel like he will be able to like play normally, play like himself, or will he be limping? Will he be possibly a detriment to the team by playing injured? In the end, I don't. I imagine he's going to play because it didn't. None of us noticed the foot injury. Maybe that's just because Goedeke's really tough, but that would be just my guess. In general, we'll see how the next 2 days go, like they said. But overall, huge. I mean, it's huge news. I mean, Wirfs and Godwin are both practicing. Like we talked about week 2 as the time for them to start ramping that up, was getting them going. And here we are. We're already here. We're 1-0. We're trying to go 2-0. But this is probably going to be our biggest test, if we're being honest. And the Jets, they're no slouch. They gave it to the, they went with the Steelers back and forth in a crazy shootout. So we, can't look past them either. Every week in the NFL is something different. You got to deal with some kind of injury problem. Now the Texans O-line, they're dealing with their own problems as well. So we're hoping our pass rush is able to get there, just like they're hoping to get theirs against us. So it's just one of those things that they've got some crazy dogs on the Texans defense. That Will Anderson is. He's not a fun guy to go up against, especially if you're starting Charlie Heck. And listen, I don't mean to disrespect him, but at the same time, they reorganized the offensive line so they didn't have to start him. So that's just kind of, you have to look at the nature of what happened there and how it's probably going to affect the Texans game. Now, question is for you guys. What do you think of this news that Godwin and Wirfs are both back on the practice field? Do you think it would be a good or bad idea to bring Wirfs sooner? Like, for example, if Goedeke is out, should we bring Wirfs back in sooner rather than later to help plug in that hole, that leaking hole a little bit, or just kind of see what we can do without Goedeke or Wirfs in that situation? Obviously, that sounds horrible, and it probably is, and we don't want to get Baker hurt doing that. But that's just the situation there. What do you think we should do in there? Are you excited, obviously, about the prospect of Wirfs coming back in week 3? Maybe it sounds like that's a big possibility. Godwin, I mean, as Ian Rappaport reported, it's weeks 5 or 6 are the most likely comeback game for him. We have a stud in a rookie wide receiver, Emeka Egbuka. And Mike Evans obviously is going to keep doing his thing. Kate Otton's a great receiving tight end. Sterling Shepard was doing really well against Atlanta. So our receiving room is really deep. Tez Johnson, I mean, he has yet to really make his impact yet, but I think it's definitely possible. So I'm not worried about the receiver room, especially. So Godwin, take your time. And we're all thrilled just to see you on the field with the guys again. But Wirfs is the bigger question in my opinion. So let me know in the comments below. Subscribe. We're trying to make our way to 2,000. And again, we will be doing a live stream for the Texans game, Monday Night Football. So be here for that. Stay subscribed. Hit the bell so you are notified of when all that's going up. We'll be going up just as the game's starting. And just want to see everybody in the chat getting live and rooting on the Bucs for just a really big game, a real away game. But at the same time, it'll be nice to watch Sunday football just all day without the worry of the Bucs playing. And but anyway, what do you guys think? Were we wearing the red jerseys for that game? I'm very excited to see that. But at the same time, there's always the worry of the Bucs in prime time. I think that we, eventually something's got to turn around. Something will happen. The Cowboys game, Sunday Night Football last year, it's just one of those unfortunate flukes. It's time for us to really stamp our name. We get our comeback or our get back against Stroud, where we had that Baker versus Stroud shootout in Stroud's rookie year in 2023. I want revenge for that game because Stroud broke all of our hearts in that game. And so let's see what we can do. They're vulnerable, so are we. But, winners basically take what they've got and next man up mentality. But yeah, let me know what you think about the news, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.